problem 3, which is exercise 1013 in your text, problem 3 in Connect, gives us some information about Fisher Corporation, and it's going to try to test your understanding or your knowledge of the cost of goods manufactured. It gives us a schedule of the cost of goods manufactured with some significant numbers missing, and it asks you to figure those out. I took those numbers and just transposed them, just put them all in one column to make life a little easier. And I want you to think through this with me as I go through and explain it in my simple as possible way. Well, if the total raw materials was 148 and we bought 120, how much did we have to have had? We had to have had 28,000. By the way, if you look at my PowerPoints, my lecture PowerPoints that are on Canvas, this is directly related to slide number 32, where I lay out the schedule of cost of goods manufactured. Now, the ending raw materials inventory. If we had 148 and we used 124, how much was our ending raw material inventory? Had to be 24. Because we had 148, we ended with 124, so we had to have had 24. Now they tell us that the total manufacturing costs were 324. If you take a look at slide 32 or any of the slides in that deck, you know that manufacturing costs are direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Those three equal total manufacturing costs. So, if we know the total was 324, and we know what 124 and 24 of it was, what we're missing is the direct labor. So 324 minus 24 is 300, minus 124, 176, direct labor. So a lot of this is just knowing what has to go in to the cost of goods manufactured and what things you have to add to make a product. Most of it is common sense, but because it's accounting, it doesn't seem that way. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is the beginning work in process inventory. Well, we really can't do that directly, so we're going to have to work our way up from the bottom. We ended up, our cost of goods manufactured was 320, and our ending work in process was 46. So our total work in process was these two combined. So that's 366. Now we can figure out the beginning work in process inventory, because if we know the total manufacturing costs are 324, and that includes everything that we've made, the beginning work in process inventory is the difference between the cost that we added and what was there when we started. This is what we started with. This is what we added. This was the ending work in process. You just have to look through this, think through it, go through it, play with it a little bit, look at the slides, look at the PowerPoints, watch the videos. It will click. It's really common sense once you see it, but until you see it, It's just pure gobbledygook.